Hey guys, I just wanted to come back with an update, follow through on my whole fear of being seen. And after a very uncomfortable, compassionate conversation, I reached the conclusion that the reason that it was causing so much, the reason my fear of being seen was causing so much discord, I don't know, in my relationship was because I'm shy and I didn't want my fiance's family to think that I was weird. And because I feel like I've spent a lot of time with people just not really giving a fuck, I'm gonna be honest about it. When I've been myself, either judged or people just don't care. So, whatever. Now I'm just cool and quiet and collected and mysterious or whatever. And instead of being able to recognize I'm scared that these people aren't gonna like me, it was I'm mad because I'm not getting what I want out of this. And it completely took over, like my fear took over, and it really kept me from recognizing the most important thing that came out of the conversation that I had the other day was that it's hot and I sweat. I'm on testosterone. I don't know what you want from me. But basically, my fiance really wasn't able to, I don't know, show up for me the way that she normally does because she was not okay. And instead of being able to recognize that she wasn't okay in the beginning, I took offense and was trauma responding, basically. And I really did have to sit because it didn't matter really what happened, what position I put myself in. I just always felt like I was on the outside. And I just realized that they're kind of stuck with me anyway. They're gonna know I'm weird anyway. It doesn't really matter at this point. And honestly, I watched this reading, Aso Tarot. I don't know if anybody watches her, but she's pretty dope. One of her recent readings described it as Bugs Bunny energy. And I don't know, labeling it as Bugs Bunny energy makes me feel so much more okay with it than just like, nah, this nigga's weird. So, yeah, there's that. And I feel like also when you are a spiritual person and stuff, I don't know. I don't want anybody to think I'm a pretentious asshole, because I'm not. But also, it's really hard for me to not be able to see all sides of things. So, I want to help people see all sides of things. And I think that's something that I need to work on within me, is just showing up as who I am without worrying about not who it's gonna offend. And I'm intentionally trying to be a dick about it and not even offend. Sometimes my jokes are gonna land and sometimes they're not. People who are gonna get it are gonna get it, and even if they don't get it for what I intended, they're still gonna get something out of it because everybody has their own life. And honestly, because I do feel like so safe and comfortable around these people, to act like I do around my family, around them, is scary. But it's definitely really good practice for when I have to do this on a bigger scale. And now that I recognize this pattern, whenever I start to feel like I'm not being seen, I can check within myself first. Am I showing up the way that I want to show up? Am I making myself be seen? Because basically what it ended up being was that I swallowed myself, basically buried me in the sand and forgot me, basically. And whenever I was in these interactions and having these conversations and reviewing my relationships with these people, because relationships are a mirror, because a mirror is everybody, and I was making myself invisible, whatever I saw looking back was nothing. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And I feel like, too, until you can accept whatever, or recognize, not even accept it, but recognize whatever is going on within you versus what your perspective versus all perspectives, I don't know. Until you can acknowledge the shit that you've got going on with you, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between this is me being scared or this is a situation where I should be mad. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm just trying to put y'all on game, because can you imagine the world that we would live in if people were able to say, I'm scared that your family's gonna think I'm weird, and not, instead of, I'm mad that I don't feel like you guys care about me or whatever. Because that's not, you know what I mean? It's trauma be fucking people up for real. And a lot of people are afraid to sit with that I'm so mad. And had I not sat with that I'm so mad, and not that I was going off and reacting and sending all the messages and stuff like that, honestly, we ended up spending the day apart from each other and not talking about, not purposefully, but it just happened that way. And we had normal, regular conversation throughout the day, and we finished our big conversation at the end of the day, and we were able to meet in the middle. We're able to, instead of this is how I see it, this is how I'm right, you're wrong, it's these are two sides of the same coin. And now that we can see more than one point of view, we're able to adjust the way that we act and move accordingly. And I just think that's important to be able to do if you want to have relationships with anybody, romantic, friendships, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I think there's layers to emotional intelligence, there's layers to spirituality, and you can put it all together. I really like that I'm able to use my gifts to actually improve my life, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people are stuck manifesting and trying to manifest and vision boards and something like that. And if that works for you, that works for you. But for me, I gotta figure out why. I like to connect the dots, and maybe that's just my autism. And I love that when you connect the dots, it just keeps, everything's connected, so it all comes back and folds in on itself. So whichever way you want to go about it, whether you want to pull some cards and see what's going on about you, or you want to pray, or you want to write some stuff down, you want to draw a picture, it doesn't matter, it's all the same. I feel like, I don't know what I feel like, so I guess that means I'm done talking.